Hey, what's up, guys? I just woke up, so sorry I'm looking kind of rough, but wanted to update you on a couple of different things that are big developments for DC games. Three main developments. One, it's pretty much confirmed that Rocksteady is making a Batman Arkham game now. Okay, so it's not 100% certain, but it's like 95, 99% that that's what they're doing. Secondly, the Wonder Woman game was canceled. Not only that, the entire studio working on the game was fired and the studio was closed. Okay, so Monolith is no longer there. They were all fired, and they found out on Twitter, by the way, because Jason Schreier leaked it, and they all found on a Twitter leak that, oh shit, I have no job and my company doesn't exist anymore. So the gaming industry is fucking a joke of how they treat people, but that's a separate thing. Okay, and then the third thing is that WB Games Montreal it has been leaked that they are pitching a Game of Thrones game. So they are looking to exit making DC games after making Gotham Knights and Batman Arkham Origins in 2013 and 2019. They are looking now to move towards a Game of Thrones game and exiting DC games. Okay, so out of these three pieces of news, what's the good news? Well, the obvious good news is Rocksteady making a Batman Arkham game. That's the good news. I want another Arkham game. I've always been at the position that they should have continued making them after 2015. Every 2 to 3 years, they should have made them. And the reason why is because the IP is so evergreen and there's so many stories to tell in the universe. And fans, by my estimation, are not sick of the games. And they'll sell phenomenally well. And it's a phenomenal game formula and franchise. So I think that they should continue making those games. And I don't like that they discontinued doing them as a whole. So that's the situation there, in my opinion, on that. Now, the Wonder Woman game getting canceled in combination with, because it's a bigger story here, with them pitching, WB Games Montreal pitching a Game of Thrones game. To me, what this really signals is like a lack of commitment to utilizing the IP that we have here. I don't think WB realizes, I mean, they have probably the greatest character catalog of any franchise ever with DC, right? You have Superman, who the Superman logo is the second most recognizable logo in the world, behind the McDonald's arch. It's top 3 in the world. Superman is a very, very famous character. He's probably the most famous fictional character ever made. Then you have Batman, who's probably the most beloved fictional character ever made. At least in the last 100 years or something. And then from there, you've got Wonder Woman and The Flash and Green Arrow and all these characters. And it's kind of amazing, right, to have access to that IP, to have access to those characters, and to just say, you know what, we're not going to use it. We don't need it. Wonder Woman game, cancel it. Screw that. Who wants a Wonder Woman game? Superman, let's not even bother. Don't even try. Flash, nah, don't even try. To me, it's unbelievable looking at how incompetent these people are. And I'm not talking about WB Montreal. They want to make a Game of Thrones game, that's fine. But from the WB perspective, the fact that you're not even trying to make a games franchise, and meanwhile, then you look at Marvel and they're Insomniac, the one studio is making this fucking whole universe with Venom games and Wolverine games and Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Venom game. And then, meanwhile, DC, we're just fucking desperate for scraps. Like, oh, if we get Gotham Knights once every 10 years, we're happy. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And these people, sorry, there's evidently hordes of dogs barking here on my patio. It's just fucking. Is it just me? It can't just be me that you look at this situation and you're just bewildered that you have access to this IP. You have all these game studios in your arsenal. Like Monolith, okay, if the Wonder Woman game's not working, why not give them Superman, you know, or something like this? Just close down the studio. You already don't have enough studios. And Rocksteady, they need to expand Rocksteady and go to a 2-game cycle like what Insomniac's doing. Insomniac's making 2 to 3 games at a time. And yes, it's very different from the old Rocksteady model, but at this point, what's the solution? If you want to make Superman games, Wonder Woman games, Green Arrow games, etc., that's what you have to do. But again, they just lack the commitment to do it for whatever reason. But this is also interesting. Um, here's the pendulum swing that we've seen. Okay, so 2009 to 2015, it was all Batman. It's just Batman, Batman, Batman. Sorry, I got to make sure this doesn't rub up against my shirt here. It was all Batman Arkham, and that was the only games that they were made. Then they swung to the opposite direction, where they said, no more Batman games. We're going to do games with everyone except Batman. Harley Quinn, Robin, Batgirl, which I like all the Bat Family. So, that wasn't the problem with Gotham Knights. If the gameplay was better and if the story was better, a Bat Family game is actually a great idea, in my opinion, but the gameplay was a downgrade and the story was a downgrade from Arkham. So that's what hurt it, fundamentally. So, but you see my point. They were like, no Batman, no more Batman. And now David Zaslav has come out and said, with our gaming division, we're going to prioritize 3 properties: Harry Potter, Game of Thrones, Batman. He didn't say DC, he said Batman. So now what I think is going to happen is we're going to swing back the opposite direction, where they're going to make Game of Thrones game. They're going to make more Harry Potter games, because those just fucking print money, and Hogwarts Legacy is really good. I've never played it, but it looks really good. And then Batman Arkham. They're just going to go back to Batman Arkham. But see, that's not the perfect strategy either. The perfect strategy is the middle ground between those two pendulums, right? The middle ground is, yes, we make a new Batman Arkham game every 3 years. I do think we should have been doing that the whole time. We should have been doing that since 2015. We should have had one 2018, 2021, 2024, in my opinion. Okay? So we should have never stopped making Batman Arkham games. And maybe you reboot it, kind of like Call of Duty did. Call of Duty rebooted Modern Warfare, and did that work for them? Fuck yeah, it did. Those games are very successful and make a lot of money. So you could have done that. And that's the way that I would probably go with it. Because I do agree, at a certain point, if you make 8 Arkham games, okay, you've used every villain, you used every storyline, you've killed off every character, that sort of thing. So I am sympathetic to those arguments that maybe it's a reboot of some kind, or you're resetting the canon. But then from there, you look at it that hybrid model, the perfect strategy is Batman Arkham plus Superman plus Wonder Woman plus Green Arrow, whatever. And so the direction David Zaslav is going in is better, where the pendulum's swinging the other direction. We're just going to do Batman. We're going to make a ton of Batman games. That's better than Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That is. If you disagree, I don't understand how you disagree. Because yes, fans were clamoring and saying they want other games, but then we got Suicide Squad and we're like, just kidding, just go back to Batman. Just kidding, we don't want other games. So, we'll see what happens. But again, my preferred middle ground is Batman plus Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. But it looks like we're just going to get Batman, which is at least an improvement over Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. It can't get any worse than that, let's be fair. So there's the update. It's not all bad news, because Rocksteady is going to get back into the mix and try to bring us back to greatness with Arkham. So that's not bad news, but I would love to see them. It's a bummer to me that W Montreal is making Game of Thrones. Their claim to fame was Batman Arkham, and it's a bummer they just tried one other game, Gotham Knights, and said, fuck it, we'll go to Game of Thrones. That's unfortunate to me, because I think that Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Flash. I'd probably say Flash is my preference out of all those, honestly, but, instead we'll get Game of Thrones. So it is what it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But again, very excited that we're getting at least back on track with Arkham and getting some Batman Arkham games moving again.